Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching News Now with me, Sumita Karir. And real estate major DLF has sold 173 apartments for over 11,000 crores in its latest ultra-luxury residential project, the Dahlias in Gurugram, on strong demand coming in from the super rich. Now, this project is the second ultra-luxury offering from DLF after the successful delivery of the Camellias at the same location. To talk about that and, of course, the overall quarterly numbers of the company, I'm now joined by a special guest this evening who's joining us from DLF, Mr. Akash Ohri, who's now joining us. In fact, thank you very much, Mr. Ohri, for joining us. Akash, remember, is a joint MD and Chief Business Officer of DLF Home Developers. Thanks very much, Mr. Ohri, for joining us here on ET Now. First things first, let me congratulate you. Really big numbers that we're seeing coming in from DLF on your latest ultra-luxury home project, the Dahlias. Pre-sales have surpassed those of your previous projects as well. But do give us a breakdown of how big are these numbers for not just DLF, but overall the real estate sector. How many units have you sold?
Well, thank you so much for having me in the show. Yes, Dahlias has been one of the biggest launches ever, if I can call it, in terms of a pre-launch. I don't even want to call those words for a super luxury product, but I think there is enough excitement in the market for us to say that. But I'd like to be very candid here. We're kind of overwhelmed with the kind of support that we've got for our super luxury portfolio, and most importantly, the Dahlias now. I think it's a validation of years of hard work that we put in the Camellias, the Magnolias, and Aralias. And the DLF Golf Course, the DLF Golf Links today is now truly the most aspirational residential communities that India can talk about. And we are happy to be there.
Right, Mr. Ohri. So what does this really signal for luxury demand for the sector, which has been a breakout story over the past few years? Luxury demand specifically, not just in real estate, but several other sectors. So do give us a comparison of this particular project and how has it fared with respect to and with comparison to the other luxury projects from the house of DLF?
So first, I'll tell you, you asked me that question. So first, I'll tell you where we stand today. So we're almost about 12,000 crores of sales, about 173 units, as we kind of move along, all uber luxury, super luxury products require that, they're in the time that they require for them to mature. And so will Dahlias. But what is different here is a far more evolved product. And it has to be, as we started that journey from Aralias to Magnolias to Camellias and now to Dahlias. So the product is pretty fantastic. It is something that the people are going to be enjoying. And as far as just to give you a small brief, we took about almost 8 to 9 years to cross 11,000 crores in Camellias, and we did about 9 weeks in Dahlias to almost come to 12,000 crores. So I think that should answer your question for the demand and what the people are looking for. But the consumers today are extremely discerning. They're very demanding, very aspirational. And the good part is that since they've actually seen the product and experienced it in its entirety, I think their involvement and their inclusion means that there is enough potential for products like these, but you can't shortchange anything.
Absolutely, Mr. Ohri. But the average realization, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, for Dahlias is 70 crores per unit. Give us a profile of who these buyers are, given that we've seen an urban consumption slowdown, and which is also reflected in the quarterly numbers as far as the GDP, the country's GDP is concerned for Q2.
See, what happens with super luxury, as you know, price is inelastic. It's more of personal choices. And when it comes to homes today, I've been saying this for some time now, that residential homes or your own home has become priority number one. You want bigger, better, plusher, whatever you can afford. So you look at whichever category in the country today. So as I see it today, I think it is a priority, and when these things become priorities, spends are accordingly allocated. So the kind of people are entrepreneurs, they are business families, there are top CXOs, there are NRIs, yeah, top doctors. So it's a mix. It's a very healthy mix of people in the Dahlia so far.
Right, Mr. Ohri, and how much are you investing in this project, and what are the construction timelines that DLF is looking at? If you could give us a tentative timeline, delivery that you have in mind.
See, what we are targeting is the 4-year plus timeline, but it also involves a lot of external development, which we will start working on immediately. So as far as the Dahlias is concerned, as you know, it's going to have one of the most spectacular views of lake parks that we are creating. So I think that particular time it will take, and the construction budgets are being worked out as I speak. So I won't be able to give you a definitive number at this point in time, but surely going forward we will. But it's going to be commensurate to something that we are building, and obviously we are going to be cutting no corners here.
All right, Mr. Ohri, so given the demand figures and of course all the big numbers that are coming out for Dahlias, what's your guidance for the company for FY26? What is your overall outlook also for luxury real estate market?
So I'll start with the luxury real estate market. So again, I think what is important to know, Sumita, today is that this is a demand which is fueled by individual customers. These are not speculators and not investors. These are people who are dreaming to live there and are excited to do so. So what's going to happen right now, as I see it, and these are early days, so it's going to take a lot of hard work to kind of get to what we actually are going to be doing. But what I'm seeing right now, there is a very concerted movement towards living in the DLF golf links, and this I am seeing happening pan India as well as Delhi, of course.
All right, Mr. Ohri, given the numbers, what does this really say about price appreciation over the next couple of quarters? How much appreciation will one see in the real estate segment?
See, price appreciation at this point in time, I'd say you yourself are saying and talking numbers which you are, pleasantly surprised with. So I'd like to leave it at that at this, right now, because price appreciation is going to happen. This is similar to what you would ask any top luxury brand in the world as to what their next launch is going to be and how much they're going to price it at. But I think as long as there is demand, which is genuine, however much time it takes for us to get to that every person, whether here in the country or outside, we will continue to do so. But I see a healthy price movement here. I don't want to speculate right now and give wrong impressions, but you can surely understand what Camellias did from a 20 crores to about 190 crores, in that span of time. I feel that even with Dahlias, which is a product which is, at that in the same league, will also demand and continue to make sure there will be a price increase. Also, please.
Okay, one final question, Mr. Ohri, before we let you go. You've spoken about a price appreciation, and this is something that you're expecting. But what are your big expectations with respect to the upcoming union budget?
Well, right now, I think what the government is doing is making the right moves as far as the real estate industry is concerned. I think making credit more available and maybe that is something that I would feel that because to fuel any growth, you have to have the money to circulate. So I think if I talk right from the consumer's point of view, there is this great demand and aspiration to own real estate. But if the credit can come in faster and maybe if it can be more affordable in terms of what they are looking at, I wouldn't want to speculate percentages right now, but I'm only talking about policy. That I feel should definitely lead to the next phase of growth as far as the real estate industry is concerned. I'm talking about a macro point. Of course, there are many micro issues that are being deliberated as I speak, but I think if you continue to allow the consumers and give them that comfort, I think a lot of this money is going to come into real estate on a regular basis, and that is what people prefer.
Absolutely, Mr. Ohri. In fact, just a short while back, I was speaking to somebody from the FMCG space. And of course, the one big ask is that consumption should be given a push. And that's also the word coming in from you. On that note, thank you very much for taking the time out and speaking with ET Now. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for us to wrap this edition of News Now. Hope you liked the show as much as we did putting it together for you. Up next after this short break is Startup Central. Do join us.